Hey everybody, it's Brent in Arkansas. This video is especially for the book buyers. Today I'm going to go a little bit in depth on the various ways to cut microgreens, how to harvest it using the mesh tray, how to clean off the screens, just a whole lot of good stuff, and it's just for you guys. Hey everybody, it's Brent in Arkansas. We're going to do another grow. This time we're going to do turnip, 7 top. I've already got my pre-measured seed, but I'm going to show you what it weighs. Put an empty baggie on here. Zero it out. Then put the turnip seed on. 50 grams is what we're going to grow. This is the tray I'm using. It's this mesh. This is the screen I'm using. It's the medium screen. Alright, first thing we're going to do is, here's the seed by the way, we're going to wet the screen so that the seed will not pop up or pop over. It'll just sit and stick. Alright, there's a seed. Now we need to soak it and start the germination process. This is antifungal. 2 teaspoons per container, and this is a 1 quart container, which is the same as a 1 liter basically. Alright, now we have it nice and soaked. This time we're going to use a PEX bubbler and have the bubbles turned on really low. With the adjustable pump that I have, I can turn them up higher as the time, as the grow needs it later on. For now we want to keep it low. We just want them to pop that moisture up and keep the seed nice and moist. I've got 2 little 2-pound sacks on there for a total of 4 pounds on this grow, and the last thing to do is put a dome on it. Go. Notice the seed holes on this. You can tap it on anything and remove the seed holes. There's still some on there and they'll deposit on the lid as time goes on. Turnip roots are amazing. Thick, beautiful white. You can see that there's still holes being deposited on the cover. Now the nutrient water is low. It's lower. Let me push it down there, and we want to fill it back up to where it was originally. Right, the turnip's higher than the sides here, so we're going to leave the blackout dome off. I wanted to show you, I did add more nutrient to top it up. And now that they're under the lights and out of the dome, see the little onions moving there? That's because I have a fan that's clipped on to the upper tray there. And that's on as long as these lights are on. And that helps keep fungus and stuff out. So the roots are down in the nutrient now, so they don't need to be, the plants don't need to be as protected. And now it's about keeping them nice and aerated. Beautiful turnips. I've never seen a more beautiful root system than the turnip. Thick. Turnip is almost ready. It's looking gorgeous. We've got some nice cotyledon growing, nice width, and I can see the first true leaves just peeking. Let me see if you can see this one right here and here. And that's when we're going to harvest them, right at first true leaves. So tomorrow I'll probably harvest this. Alright, it is harvest day for turnip. Those beautiful greens. One last look at the roots. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this in a dry bottom tray to carry into the house. I got a little sun on them now. This beautiful dense carpet of turnips. We're about to harvest these in the house, but I wanted to show you the sink harvesting rack I made, and I just made it to fit the sink, and it's very simple. You know in the book how I told you you increase the square inches and they'll hang out over, by hanging out over? This is what I'm talking about. They get tall enough and they start bending over like so, and what that does is it pulls the greens this way, or probably more accurate is the greens growing in the middle start pushing their cotyledons out and pushing the other greens so they can get some light as well. So that's how we're able to grow more densely. Let's pull out the screen from the mesh tray. I need to reach down in here and grab the edge and just simply pull up. That's going to pull up some of the roots, especially these roots, because turnip greens have thick roots. And I'll show you the roots when we get done with this part. To sling it, so I'm being careful pulling it up. Okay, There's our carpet of greens. And that's what the root side looks like. We're going to drape it over. Just like so. Alright, it's been about an hour and I want to show you some methods I've tried before. I've tried the scissors and I'll show you that. I've tried the fillet knife. This is my fishing knife. It's a fillet knife. And I'm going to try the electric knife for the first time today. And I'm hoping that this will help me maximize how fast it takes to harvest. So with scissors, we're starting up here on the ridge. And we're going to lift up some of these micros and we're just going to cut close to the base. We got some nice microgreens there. Hope it's in the picture. I'm just going to put them in the container and I'm going to pick another area here right behind it and we're just going to harvest the ridge here with that. Now you want to get it close so you're not wasting material, but you also don't want to cut the screen, and all of these utensils can cut the screen. So you can kind of use the point of your finger. If you kind of touch the screen with the point of your finger, then you can kind of feel with that when you cut and get pretty close. Alright. Also, so that was scissors. Also, let me switch this around here. Since instead of moving the tray, I'll just move this around. You can harvest also with the fillet knife, and it is essentially the same. You want it to be really sharp, and you want to cut close, but not cut into the screen, and that's tricky, and I can tell you I am not the best at it, but what you can do is kind of hold it in place and it'll fall for you. And you can see here I'm not getting as close as I can. I'm going to go ahead and do this whole side. If you have any secrets on how to cut better, you chefs and fishermen that fillet regularly, please let me know. So I'm pushing in a little bit and angling the blade ever so slightly outwards. Still you're missing, or I'm missing, a good portion of it, and it's because I don't want to cut into the screen. The screen's a little bit more valuable than a single harvest weight. And this newer screen type is pretty hardy. So if you want, you can get it even closer. Okay, so that's the knife, that's the fillet knife. Now, so now we're going to turn it around and we're going to attempt the electric knife. Again, I'm also afraid I'm going to cut the screen. But we'll see what happens. Ooh, cuts quick. Less chance of cutting your finger. You can see that these are laid down. They're actually... Ooh, that got good and close. I wish I could get a hole like that. Maybe I'll get braver in the future. I'm already getting braver with this because I feel like it's not going to cut into it. So I'm going to take you outside before we weigh the microgreens themselves. I'm going to show you how to clean this. It's pretty simple. Okay, out here at the deck, and what I typically do first is I just take my fingers, and just pull it like so. See how quick that is? Of course, I'm working with wood here, so I don't want to scrape my fingernails into the wood deck and pull out a deeply embedded splinter. So I'm being careful on the edges for that purpose. But basically, yeah, just do that. The edges like so. Over on the other side, they're most let go, and then all you got to do is whack it. These screens are pretty hardy. I'm going to go back behind this and rinse it. Alright, see that? For the most part it's done. I can whack it a few more times. This stuff is really stout. And once I wash it, get the little traces left, done deal, ready to start another one. Here are the turnips. Put my hand up here for reference. And I'll bring you in close and we'll spin you around so you can get a good look at the finished product. Alright, turn it on. We'll put a glass on there. Again, that's just to elevate it so you can see the scale. One paper plate, like so, empty. And this is so we can zero it out. Now I'm going to take the paper plate off because we've got one here. And I'm going to lift this up off camera. I can't do it with one hand. And I'll put it on here and bring you back. Alright, there you go. Here's the turnips. And it comes in at a whopping 30.65 ounces. Let's get the 1.91 pounds. That's a lot of turnip micros. 869 grams. I'm pretty proud of that grow. It's a good grow. It's a branch, you guys. We'll see you later.